3 football IQ habits you need to develop. Football IQ, soccer intelligence is so crucial to being a top level player, a high level player, improving your game. And we're gonna go over why that is and some habits that are gonna help you be this kind of player more coming up next. Really quick guys, before we get started, I would like to thank the sponsor of this video, OneFootball, which you can download for free down below in the description. OneFootball is an incredible app for all football fans that want to keep up to date on the latest results internationally and at club level, keep up with your favorite club, your favorite national team. They also even have video compilations of different things, which I think is actually really cool. One of my favorite features on this app. Again, this app is absolutely free and it's just a must for any football fanatic that wants to make sure they know what's going on in the world of football. So make sure you give some love to OneFootball by downloading it for free down below in the description. Without further ado, let's get into the rest of the video. Also guys, before we get started, make sure you get my free ebook, Game Changer, which you can get down below in the description. Again, absolutely free, 50+ page ebook that is going to help you with so many different areas of your game, give you so many different trainings, tools, and so on. Now, without further ado, let's get into the first one here, going in reverse order with number 3. So number 3 is one you've heard of, but I have to mention it here because so many of your decisions and IQ is going to stem from this place, and it is awareness. The more awareness you have when you're on the field, the more options you therefore have. And then combine that with something else we're going to go over, and you will be a smarter player automatically. When you know where your teammates are, where your opponents are, where the space is, and you can kind of see things almost moving before they have, this allows you to have more options and make better decisions. You know, if you have only tunnel vision, you're not aware your teammates open over there and that's a good option, that you have space over there, if you do a certain thing it's going to create the space, whatever else it is, you're not going to be a smart player, you're not going to be able to make great decisions, and it limits your decision space, how many things you can make. So you go from like 5 options to maybe 1 option, or 2 options to maybe you have several. And when you have more awareness, you're able to make that split-second decision more accurately and with more information. You're essentially giving yourself more information in the moment, and that's why awareness is crucial. In fact, before moving on, put in the comments, I am improving my awareness in football. Put that down below, connect with that, remember that, and just keep working on improving your awareness in your training and in your matches. Now we're into number 2, which is decision making. Now again, awareness is key. It's the starting point, the foundation here, but then you have to make the right decisions. Because if you have 5 options, but you choose the wrong option, well, it doesn't matter how aware you are. I could know where my teammates are, I could know where my opponents are and the space is, but if I try and take a convoluted action versus a simple one every single time, or I try and, you know, do the risky thing every single time, or I just choose the wrong thing every single time, it doesn't really matter what I'm aware of. You need to combine awareness with good decision making. And one of the best ways to do this is simply to study some of the smartest players in the game. For example, Kevin De Bruyne is a player who makes the best decision more often than not, and he has amazing awareness. That's why he seems to do so many of these things that other players can't do, because other players don't see what he sees a lot of the time, and he also knows when to execute versus when to take his time. He knows when to pass the ball back and simple, and when to try that through ball. He knows that he has a split second to make a certain decision and has to either make it or do a different option. He chooses the right option more times than not. And that is so crucial when it comes to your IQ, because making the right decision is almost everything when it comes to football intelligence. Because again, you could be the best player in the world, but if you keep choosing the wrong option, you're not going to be able to show how good you are. You're going to keep giving the ball away, or you're going to be ruining counterattacks. You know, it could be your team might be able to attack, but you can't because you've chosen the wrong pass. And so decision making is crucial. When you combine awareness with decision making and you start making the right decisions more than not, then you are going to improve your intelligence in this game by tenfold. It will make such a huge difference. Again, study the best players to see what decisions they're making, ask questions, and study your own game to see, okay, what could I have done there when I did this? Were there different options? You know, make yourself aware of those things and then start making different decisions if the ones you're currently making aren't really working out. Before moving on to the last one, guys, make sure you hit that like button if it's resonating so far this video and you're enjoying it and you're learning. And now let's move on to number 1. And this one is crucial to continually becoming a better and better player, a smarter and smarter player. And it is players with a high IQ, they learn quickly. learn very quickly, whether that's in the moment in games, learning the patterns of the opposition, learning how they can exploit the opposition, or whether it's learning in general to improve your game. The smartest players, they are adaptable. They are people who can learn quickly. They go, okay, this is a weakness in my game, and by improving this, they identify that weakness, they have the awareness of that weakness, and they make the decision to improve that, going, if I improve this, it's going to improve my performances a lot. If I improve this area, it's just going to help me in game by so much. Learning quickly is an amazing trait of players who improve fast, of smart players. There are a lot of players that plateau and stay in place and never get better, they never adapt. You even look at players who get older and then adapt their game to stay longer at the highest level. For example, Cristiano Ronaldo is always a great example of the evolution of a player. From a player who was all skill moves, who became skill moves to end product, who is now becoming more of a goal scorer later in his career because he may not be able to beat players as easily, he still can, but beat players as easily and do other things. So he goes, how can I have the most impact? He adapts, and that's what smart players do, ultimately. And so you want to be able to learn quickly, admit where your weaknesses are, have the awareness of what's going to improve, and then make the decision to put your focus where it needs to be in order to improve those areas. All right, guys, those have been 3 football IQ habits you need to develop. Again, a lot of these will be in the moment in matches, and some of them will be more long-term. And the best way to get the best results in this is to do both. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I'll see you in the next one.